you're welcome. Inside. Woo. Let's share to as many. Bringing hope. Hello, bros. How are you? Much love. Thanks for joining. Yes. Invite everybody. The promise, the future, and life. Yeah. Let this light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Love. Welcome, Vok. B. Chatry, thanks for joining. Let's invite people. Oh, not yet. What? I see that.
ये तो युगांडा दी लगदी यार की होए यार इन्हां ने भैन जो सुर्खी पाउडर महंगा कराया थी जोधा ने पर वाला शू जॉइन में थी चुगल पड़ूलो वो अड़या खड़ा हुआ तीन जो अड़या खड़ा होते
Yeah, somebody's trying to be part of today, but not with the match. Yes, yes. Hello, everybody. Good evening. How are you today? It's a lovely Monday. Somewhat chilly, but we're surviving. How are you all today? How was your weekend? You're welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal today. Nice to have you, Jam Rock. Thanks for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Let's share to everyone. I have just a couple of minutes, then we'll take off. Elton, I see you. Inkena, thanks for joining. Please share this live with as many people as possible. Thank you so much for joining. Woo. Welcome, being inspired. I see you. Thank you for liking the live. Oh, thank you. Ali Khan, you're welcome. Yes. How has your day been? It's a Monday. Some of us, we don't really like Mondays because you just bring all this busyness in your mind and what have you. Thanks for joining. Lulu, I see you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate that. You can share this to as many people as possible. I'm going to be taking off in about a minute, so I'm just kind of waiting on people. Let's see how many people I can invite myself. Yeah. It's been a wonderful day, and we had a lovely weekend. I'm grateful to God. You know, every day has its challenges, but we just have to face it. And today I have a very, very interesting topic we're going to be talking about. And I'd love to hear your views as well. So help send this to as many people as possible. I'm doing the same right now. And we're going to kick off soon. Thanks for joining. We can start tapping that screen today. I want us to take you to at least 20K likes today. So you guys have to help me. Help me, please. Let's tap on our screen. Don't break your screen now, please. Just tap gently. And send to as many people as possible. If you don't know how to send this easily, I'll tell you what to do now. On your screen, just press and hold down, and you see a whole lot of list of names. Just press send. That's what I've done as well. So it's going to share this live to all your friends. And if you want to reach out to people on WhatsApp, Instagram, anywhere, you can also share this to them. So thank you. Hopefully, thanks for joining. I see you. Thank you for joining. This is Inside with FunmiRoyal. Today, we have a very interesting topic, like I said, and this topic can affect some people, if not all of us, or perhaps it's affected you before you've managed to come out of it. I'd love to hear from you today. How did you feel this? How did you overcome this? Do you have any experience you want to share with us? I'll probably be sharing one or two of mine as well. So when the time comes, I'm going to bring you up. I want to hear your views, how you dealt with this topic we're going to be talking about. And don't forget as well, I have my puzzle today. Last week was very interesting. We had a winner. So today I have another puzzle. If you know the answer, when the time comes, okay, we'll take it one at a time. If you know the answer to my puzzle, like I say, I love donuts. So I'm going to give you 1 donut and 2 ice cream just to relax for the evening, okay? That's if you get my puzzle right. So when the time comes, I'm going to let you know what the puzzle is. And I'll be expecting to hear some good answers from you lot out there. So once again, thanks for joining me on Inside with FunmiRoyal this beautiful Sunday or Monday evening. Rani, I see you. Thanks for joining. Let's tap our screen. We want to take you to 20k likes today. So guys, I need your help. I need your help to take you to 20,000 likes today. So let's go. What is the topic today? Today I'll be talking about dealing with low self-esteem. Dealing with low self-esteem. Osakwe, I cite you. Thanks for joining. Let's share to as many people and let's keep tapping. So we'll take you to 20k likes. Mbright66, I cite you. Thanks for joining. So dealing with low self-esteem. That is the topic today. But in order for you to understand, because some people might not even know they're dealing with it because they're not consciously aware. So we're going to bring a bit of definitions and meanings to stuff right here so we have a better understanding. And like I always say, anytime I do this talk, I like us to kind of self-reflect. And even as I'm doing the talk, I'm self-reflecting myself, okay, so that we can identify if we have this challenge and also listen attentively how we can deal with it. Or if you've dealt with it before, how did you deal with it? What did you do? I'd like to hear from you. Elton, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Let's tap, and share to as many people as possible. So dealing with low self-esteem. Many times, some people have been there, too many times dealing with stuff and they overcome and maybe they get to another higher level and they start seeing themselves dealing with low self-esteem again. And you can always overcome. Once overcome, you can always overcome it again. Sinanduku, I cite you. Thanks for joining. Thank you for liking the live. Let's tap on our screen and share to as many people as possible. 20k likes today, people. I know we can do it. So what is esteem itself? When you say esteem, what does that mean? It simply means the respect, the admiration or valuation you hold for yourself and others. In simple terms, esteem means how much you value and respect yourself or someone else. Is as simple as that. So then, when we're talking about low self-esteem, it simply means not thinking very highly of yourself, or feeling like you're not good, you're not as good as other people. It is when you don't feel confident and positive about who you are. Honestly, a lot of people are not consciously aware of these things and they just struggle. Welcome, Mary. I see you. Thank you, Big One, for liking the live. Really appreciate. Elton, thank you for sharing the live. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Elton, I cite you. Vesia, I cite you. Ra, thanks for joining. Okay, so low self-esteem is when people don't think highly of themselves. They've always feeling they're not good enough. Anything they do, they kind of condemn themselves before others will even say, oh, you have to redo this or you need to do this again or whatever it is. But you yourself, no matter what you do, you're constantly kind of judging yourself, thinking, is this good enough? Oh, that self-esteem is rather low. So how do you deal with it? We're going to be looking at this in a minute. So let's share to as many people as possible. Thanks for joining, Slame. Whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding. So I said today the topic is dealing with low self-esteem. Thank you, Coco. Thanks for joining. So what causes low self-esteem? Because I mean, it's a challenge, and sometimes we have causes to these challenges. We're going to be talking about few things that kind of lead to low self-esteem. I'm going to be talking about it, and you can self-examine yourself. Slim, you're welcome. If it's something, it's there silently, you're not aware of. So let's kind of do a self-reflection today as I give this talk. And hopefully, by the time I'm done, I want to hear from you, your experience, how you've been able to deal with low self-esteem. So, causes of low self-esteem, I'll mention few. There's so many, but I mean, just for context of time, I'll bring them to maybe about 8 or so, and then try to explain that so we can examine ourselves very well. So what are the causes of low self-esteem? The first thing I want to mention here is negative experiences. Okay, experiencing repeated criticisms, maybe bullying, to using that word, or rejection from others can make you kind of doubt yourself and feel unworthy. You feel unlovable. You just feel like, oh, all this negativity, maybe you're not good enough, maybe it's just assumptions, and then it kind of crawls into your esteem, and you just have this low self-esteem about yourself. You doubt yourself. Whatever you do, it's like it's not good enough, or is it good enough? You're not even sure. So negative experiences from maybe colleagues, peers, family members, whoever, the society, can make you feel low self-esteem. Another thing that can cause low thanks, Aisha, thanks for joining, is comparing yourself to others. Example, maybe in a workplace or in a school. I know you have to get good grades in order to get to the next level of study, but you just keep comparing yourself with other people. You feel you're not adequate. You feel you can't do enough. You feel you can't get that high grade and all of that, comparing yourself to others. Oh, your friend just got an A. Oh, you're not sure you can get an A, even though you're very brilliant. But then your esteem is kind of, down there, and you're not feeling capable. This is another thing that causes low self-esteem, comparing yourself to others. We don't want to compare ourselves with others, because most times we'll never see that good in us, especially when we see the other people. We think they're thriving, they're up there and doing stuff, and we're just low down there. We just kind of look down on ourselves. So we need to stop doing that. It's not the best thing, constantly comparing yourself to others who seem more successful, more attractive, more talented, can make you feel inadequate and less confident in your own abilities. So be mindful. Are you the one that is constantly comparing yourself to others? Yisha, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. Let's tap on our screen, and thank you for the 1K likes already. Let's tap, and send to as many people as possible to be here today. So another thing that can cause low self-esteem is perfectionism. You just have to get it right all the time, setting unrealistically high standards, I mean, for yourself, and feeling like you always fall short, and can lead to feelings of failure and inadequacies. Always setting this very unrealistic, standards. And then when you don't meet up to it, you just feel that low esteem. And constantly or over time you do that, you just find out that you're not getting any better. You're not feeling your esteem is high up there, because you just feel you never meet that target, so to say. So when you're a perfectionist, or you like things to just be perfect, and you don't hit that perfection, you may just feel that low self-esteem. So you need to be mindful. It's good to make mistakes, learn from your mistakes, and do better. Okay, don't beat yourself about it. Don't let it affect your esteem and making you feel like you're not adequate, you're not just good enough. No, everybody makes mistakes at one point in time or another. We shake it off, we'll learn from it, and then we'll move on to doing better. Okay, another cause of low self-esteem is traumatic events. Yes, traumatic events. Let's see, let's just reduce that. So when you have been through some traumatic experiences, it can make you feel this low self-esteem we're talking about. Sometimes it could be abuse, could be loss, could be some sort of failure. This can deeply impact your self-esteem and make it difficult for you to feel good about yourself. So if you need counseling, you can sort that. We'll be coming to how we can deal with low self-esteem, actually. So let me not jump it. So traumatic events can make people feel low self-esteem if they don't deal with it adequately. Michelle, thanks for joining. I see you. Let's tap. Let's take it to 20k likes today, please, guys. I know we can do it. Duna, you're welcome. So what else can cause low self-esteem? Lack of support, Sometimes maybe you're in training or you're learning something. Because you're learning, you feel inadequate, okay? Or if you don't have the right support around you. Growing up in an unsupportive or a dysfunctional environment where you don't receive encouragement or validation can contribute to low self-esteem. So sometimes when you're talking about low self-esteem, you have to go way back, maybe into your childhood days. Emily, how are you? Thanks for joining. Go back to your childhood days. How was your relationship with the people surrounding you that were meant to give you this support, to help you grow in your esteem? Maybe you've constantly been judged and you don't get the support, especially when you don't do things correctly. Rather than you being shown how to do things rightly, they just kind of talk you down, and your esteem is just right there on the floor, and you haven't kind of recovered. You've lived a life through, but you haven't really consciously dealt with it. And from time to time, it kind of creeps in. Even as an adult, you're still struggling with low self-esteem. So lack of support really can make someone feel that. Again, negative self-talk. Oh my goodness, please don't get me started with that. I used to be number one fan of myself in that regard. Talking negative, self-talk. Oh, I'm not good enough. I just can't amount to this. Oh, that's why people neglect me. I don't feel I'm adequate. And then people will comment and say good stuff. They give me good feedbacks, but I'm not hearing it. All I'm waiting for, okay, tell me the bad part, because I know I'm not good enough. I didn't know that was like low self-esteem. I had to deal with it, not in a good way that I wanted, but I was supposed to kind of realize this, that I do this a lot. When I do anything and it's good, I'm waiting for that criticism. It's like it's not good enough all the time. And this had become a way of life. Thanks for joining, Florina. Thanks for joining. Thanks for liking the live. Larry Savvy, I cite you. You're welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal this evening. So, negative self-talk, constantly criticizing yourself, focusing on your flaws, and dwelling on past mistakes can erode your self-esteem over time, and of course reinforce negative beliefs about yourself. This is you doing this to yourself now, not even people around you. T. Clover, thanks for joining. Today I'm talking about dealing with low self-esteem. So if you have something to share, I'm going to open the floor very soon. Let's hear from you. What do you think about this? Do you think is a big thing, or is not something to worry about? Or if it's something you've been through yourself and you've overcome this, I'd like to hear from you. What did you do to overcome this low self-esteem we're talking about? So, what else can cause it? I said I'll be giving about 8 points, and then we'll go to how we can solve this. Low self-esteem can be caused by unrealistic expectations. I mentioned something similar before. When you hold unrealistic expectations for yourself, such as expecting perfection, I mentioned that earlier, in every aspect of your life. Is that possible? We're not, even robots will malfunction from time to time, let alone humans. Who made a robot? Grace T, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. Okay, such as expecting perfection in every aspect of our lives. Is like constantly on it. It's like you don't have that high self-esteem or a balanced one for that, dealing with things. This can lead to constant disappointment and feelings of inadequacy. So stop setting unrealistic expectations. And even if it seems unrealistic, give yourself enough time to accomplish this, because it might just take a while to get there. And if you think the time set is not going to be enough, please don't beat yourself to it. About it. Just take your time and deal with things. You can do it. And that's why the task is before you. Even if you can't, find support, These are things I'll be talking about shortly. Another thing, amazingly, this one, it's amazing because many centuries back or decades back, we really didn't have, much of a problem with this. But I must say to you that today, one of the causes of low self-esteem is social media influence. Yes, I dare to say it. Ajayi-Daniels, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. Gasako, I hope I pronounced that right. Hi, how are you? I see you. Spiridon, thanks for joining. Let's tap on our screen. Let's tap. Let's take the likes to 20K today, and let's share this to as many people as possible. There's so many people that might be dealing with this, or some are in it, but they're not even aware. Let's bring their attention to it so they can do better in their lives. So like I said, social media influence, it affects people. It brings low self-esteem. Comparing your life to the curated and exaggerated versions of other people's lives on social media can distort your perception of reality. Not everything you see on social media is what it is. So we need to be careful. We need to be mindful. If you're not careful, this will make you feel inferior big time, because you have Instagram, you have all these social media platforms. You switch off this, you switch on that, you just see this perfect person, you see this perfect house, perfect everything. Trust me, you need to be careful. Social media can influence low self-esteem. You see these people's lives, how real is it? Some stage a lot of things to make it look perfect. You need to be careful when you start comparing your lives to what you see on social media. That is not wise. It makes you feel inferior, makes you feel left out. It makes you feel low self-esteem because you just feel you're not adequate. You cannot be adequate enough. All these people's like the whole world, because when you jump from Instagram to Facebook to all of this and you see all sorts, it's like everything just looks perfect. And you look at your life and you start self-judging again. You say to yourself, I don't think I can ever be as good as these people. You turn here, feel like this young person is even younger than you and they seem to be doing well, or they seem to have it all together. I will think twice before I make that decision. So we need to be mindful. Social media, like I said, can contribute to having low self-esteem. Estelle, I see you. Thanks for joining. Let's tap our screen and take it up a notch. So I'm going to pause for a second. Let's see if we can get to 2K likes. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I have to like it as well. Let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside. So guys, if you're just joining in, thank you so much for joining this live. This is Inside with FunmiRoyal this Monday, and I'm talking about dealing with low self-esteem. I've briefly talked about some of the causes of low self-esteem. Thank you so much, Mary, for liking the live. I've talked about that. So how do you actually deal with, or how do you overcome low self-esteem? To every challenge, there is always a solution. But whether we're now looking for that solution is a different thing altogether. Kande, thanks for joining. You're welcome. Let's tap on our screen. Let's take it to 2K likes, and then I'll carry on. Let's just do that for a minute. Thank you so much. I see you. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much, Mary. We're talking about dealing with low self-esteem and talk briefly about the causes, social media. Oh, if you go on there, you just not like yourself. So you need to be mindful. All that glitter is not gold, as they say. Remy, Karim, thanks for joining in. Let's tap on our screen. We're nearly there. Let's take it to 2K likes now. We're still going to 20K likes, and I know we can do it. Thank you, love, for joining in. Thanks so much. And I'd love to hear from you about this topic. Have you experienced this before? How have you been able to deal with it? I want to hear from you. It's always good to share our real life experiences. I'm going to share one or two of mine as well, because it's something that sometimes constantly you find yourself going in and out of it, and we'll try as much as possible to deal with it, dealing with low self-esteem. So how do you overcome this, or how do you deal with it? The first thing I'll mention here is practice self-compassion. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself and treat yourself with the same understanding and care that you would offer to a friend facing similar challenges. Maybe you're the one that is always trying to boost other people's esteem, and you neglect yourself. And then when you feel that low self-esteem, is like there's nobody to help you boost your esteem, so practice self-compassion. Tell yourself, okay, I may have made this mistake. That doesn't mean I'm not confident. That doesn't mean I'm not adequate. All those negative thoughts, negative words, find the positives to it, so that you don't keep beating yourself about when you're feeling low self-esteem. Tell yourself you're confident. Sometimes you have to verbalize these things, and the more you hear it, the more it sinks in your heart, the more it registers in your mind, and the more you feel that. Mame, thanks for joining. Chi Love, you're welcome. Let's tap on our screen. Let's like this live. Let's share to as many people as possible. Be kind to yourself. Like I said, treat yourself with the same understanding you give to other people, because you feel bad when they are feeling low. How come you cannot encourage yourself as well? So challenge negative thoughts, which is more or less part of what I've just talked about. Challenge those negative thoughts. Identify and challenge the negative thoughts and beliefs about yourself by replacing them with a more realistic and positive one. Say, for example, you just keep hearing you're not adequate. You say to yourself, I am adequate. Or I don't know if you can type on there, what are those negative thoughts that comes to your mind, when you're feeling low self-esteem. So tell me one of those negative words, and we'll try to find a positive to it. There is always one. So I like to see, so that I know we're together. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for liking the live. We can take it up. So what are those kind of negative thoughts, that words, for example, that comes to your mind when you have when you're dealing with low self-esteem? You just feel like, what's the word now? Let me look for another word. You feel you're not good enough. Who says you're not good enough? All these assumptions, negative assumptions about ourselves, we have to replace with positive assumptions, if you call it that. But let it be positive. You are broke. So you have to explain what that broke is. If you're broke, you just say to yourself, I am not broke. I am not broke. It's just what I'm experiencing now. It doesn't define who I am, because we go through different phases of life, okay? So be mindful of those negative thoughts. For every negative thought, there is a positive thinking. So find that positive and think about it. And use that more often, identify with that more often, replace the positive one, with the negative thoughts. So that way it kind of boosts your ego, your self-esteem. You don't want to be low down there. It's better to think that, okay, I've made that mistake, I can do better the next time, so you don't feel low all the time. And again, another way to deal with low self-esteem is set realistic goals. You have to be realistic with your goals. You've set a task. Maybe in past times, the task has taken 3 weeks to finish. And you just say to yourself, okay, this task, I've done it before. So let me give myself 1.5 weeks. Are you being realistic with your goals? Be realistic, otherwise you bring yourself, back to that place dealing with low self-esteem. And it doesn't mean you're not adequate. It's just because the timing you've set for yourself wasn't adequate. And then because you're not able to accomplish, or you didn't do it properly, you now feel like you're not adequate, your esteem is just down there on the floor. So be mindful, set realistic goals, set achievable goals for yourself, and celebrate your progress no matter how small. Okay, that will help you build confidence and a sense of accomplishment. You will feel good, and that way you've overcome that low self-esteem. So be realistic with your goals so that you can see what you have accomplished. Thank you so much. Let's tap. Let's tap on our screens. Let's take the likes up. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much for the heart me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Jaffa, I cite you. Thank you. Set realistic goals, I said. So another one again, how you can deal with low self-esteem. City, I see you. Focus on your strengths. Because like I said, every aspect of your life, you cannot be perfect. So if you feel low self-esteem when you're dealing with one aspect of your life, look at all the strengths and find strength in there. Acknowledge and appreciate your unique strengths by yourself, for yourself, to yourself, your talents, your qualities, and focus on developing and nurturing them if you're not happy with the level at which you are, okay? So be positive in your thinking, not negative. Because this negativity, when it lingers on for so long, it brings your esteem very low. And then you have to start dealing with low self-esteem. So find your strength and, find strength in that. Find esteem in that. And let that nurture your esteem as well. Then surround yourself with positive and supportive people. Positive and supportive people. Thank you for joining. To those just joining, you're welcome to Insight. Thank you. I really appreciate. Let's share this to our friends and let's take the likes up tonight. Thank you so much. Surround yourself with positive and supportive people. Surround yourself with these people who can uplift your spirit, who can encourage you and not limit your exposure to only negative influences, or stay away from toxic relationships if possible. Because some people, because they have their own low self-esteem they're dealing with, they would like to put one on you. And they come because they see that in you. Say it takes one to know one, as they say. And because they want to feel good about themselves, they can actually bring your esteem down to feel good. So don't surround yourself with this kind of toxic people. Surround yourself with people who are positive, who will support you in what you're doing. That way, over time, you gain back your confidence, and you boost your self-esteem. Again, another point I'll mention here quickly is practice self-care. Self-care. Take care of your physical, emotional, and mental well-being by engaging in activities that will nourish and energize you, such as maybe exercise, your hobbies, the things you like to do. This one, you will do them. You don't even need to think twice. Are you capable or whatever? This is what you enjoy doing. It can also help boost your self-esteem, or spending time with your loved ones. When you're in the midst of people who love you for who you are, there's no way you feel low self-esteem in their midst. So these are things you can engage in self-care in order to deal with low self-esteem. So again, I mentioned that briefly, but I didn't want to jump it. Seek professional help. Do not be ashamed. I've had clients who've come in and it's low self-esteem. We had to, deal with it. We had to do cognitive behavioral therapy to help them deal with this situation. And oftentimes they will look back at the end of sessions and they wonder why they felt low self-esteem in the first place. So sometimes you might need to get professional help and consider seeking support from a therapist or a counselor who can provide guidance and tools and strategies for building self-esteem and coping with life challenges. Like I said, it could be what you've gone through in the past that has brought on this low self-esteem. And you need a professional person to help you deal with it, adequately. That way you overcome self-esteem. Do not be ashamed to seek help. If you think it is that bad, you can always seek help. Nobody is going to sort that help for you sometimes if you don't. So seek professional help and make good use of that. So finally, I'll mention here before I open the floor to us. Before I mention the last, don't forget, in maybe about half an hour, I'm going to tell us our puzzle for today. And if you know the puzzle, just type in the answer. Or if you want to come into the box and tell me what the answer to the puzzle is, you get a donut and 2 ice cream to relax for the evening. That's just a small treat for you. So I will be telling us what that puzzle is in a moment. So another way to deal with low self-esteem is focus on the present moment, right here, right now. You can practice mindfulness. If you don't know what mindfulness is, taking time out by yourself, just relax your mind. If it's soft music you want to play, just, kind of relax your mind and think of all those negative thoughts and bring the positive in and just enjoy that moment. Let all the negative out and let all the positive come in. You can practice mindfulness and focus on your present moment rather than dwelling on your past mistakes, because the more you dwell on that past mistakes, it's not going to help boost your esteem. Rather, it will bring you very low. Stop worrying about the future. Sometimes you don't know what the future holds. We all don't know most times, except to have some sort of premonition or God shows you in a dream this is going to happen. Or thanks for joining. I really appreciate. Sandy, thanks for joining. So think of here and now. Stop worrying about the future, because when you worry so much about the future, it's like you don't know what's going to happen and you panic. You feel you're not going to be able to handle the future, and then low self-esteem creeps in and what have you. Let's not do that. Allow yourself to experience fully life without judgment. Do not judge yourself. Do not judge yourself. You are good enough as you are. And if you feel you're not, it's not a bad thing, okay? You look for positive ways of getting things done better or better your life. If you have to go back to school, if you have to go back to that training to be retrained, there's always an answer to every challenge. Whether we're not looking for the right answer is another thing altogether. So let's not dwell on our past mistakes. Learn from it and move on. Learn from it and move on. And that's the best you can do for yourself, because tomorrow's mistake is still coming. How many times do you want to keep going down and back and up and down? This is your mental well-being we're talking about. So be positive in your thinking. Be positive. As you have the negative thinking, so you have the positive thinking. You just have to find the positivity and, say that to yourself. Marika George, thanks for joining. Let's tap our screen and share to as many people as possible. Guys, we can take this like up. Let's take it up to 4K in just a moment. Thanks for joining. I'm tapping as well. Let's tap. Let's take it to 4K likes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your joining. And if you're just joining today, we're talking about dealing with low self-esteem. Some people feel so low. They see this job, they know they have the qualifications, but they just feel, will I be adequate? Would I be enough? Can I cope? That's low self-esteem. You're talking yourself out of the job, so to say. That is not going to achieve anything. Go for it. Even if you don't get the job, count it as an experience. Take it positively. Whatever you've learned from there, take it to your next interview. Sometimes they might say, oh, it's easier said than done. Some people have attended thousands of interviews just to get to one job. And if they had given up at the 999th, they wouldn't get that job the 1,000 times. So sometimes you might have to push yourself. Tell yourself, I can do it. Sometimes I tell myself, I go for interviews and it doesn't come through. I just say, you know what, it's their loss. I know I'm good and I know I'm capable. It's their loss. So imagine you've gone for another interview and they've given you the job and you're about starting next week, and these people who've rejected you in the past now sends an email. Oh, we've reviewed the interviews, all the candidates, so we're ready to take you on board. Their loss, because you're starting another job or a new job. So don't look down on yourself. Focus on your present moment. Focus on your wins, so that you don't just focus on the mistakes alone, the things you haven't done well. You just keep focusing on that. It's not going to help boost your esteem. So be mindful. Otumba, thanks for joining. Let's tap on our screen. We're nearly 4K. We can do it. Yes, yes, let's tap on the screen. And let's share this live to as many people as possible. Come on, let's share this. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, yeah. Inside, inside. Thank you. Bringing hope and make you feel alright. So I'm gonna be bringing people into the box shortly. And I just want to conclude by saying that all these ways of dealing with low self-esteem that I've mentioned, you can incorporate these simple strategies into your daily living, and you can gradually start building confidence. Because sometimes you might not just find somebody who come and hail you, support you and all that. You have to do it for yourself. Build resilience and a healthy sense of self-esteem for yourself. And remember that progress takes time and patience. So be kind and gentle to yourself along the way. It's never the end of the world. As long as you have breath in you, there is hope for you, there is hope for me. So we're going to be looking at one or two questions. So what do you think? Dealing with low self-esteem. Are people born with low self-esteem? Because sometimes I hear clients say something like, oh, it's been there all my life. And I tend to wonder, really, were you born with low self-esteem, or did you grow up in that environment? It's just low self-esteem everywhere you turn, through your adolescent, your teenage years, and all of those years, uni, and all of that, and you're now a full-grown adult, and that low self-esteem is like your second nature. It's the environment. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, sometimes it is. So I'm gonna bring some people up, and let's hear your views about this. Do you think people are born with? Hear from you if you have such experience of low self-esteem and how you've been able to overcome it. What did you have to do? User, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. You're welcome, Mary. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks, sis. You're welcome. So I don't know.
Thank
I'm,
you
I'm
so
sure you've
much.
heard, yeah, all I've said so far. I want to hear from you, Brenda. You're welcome. Your perspective. Do you think people are born with low self-esteem, and have you had experience of that yourself? And how have you been able to deal with that?
Yeah, as you can see from my comment, basically, I feel like no one is born with low self-esteem, but it's dependent on the environment that the person is in.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's true.
if I can take an example of a workplace, a workplace where you feel like you're always neglected. You feel like you're not taken like you're important in whatever you're doing. Whatever you do, people don't take it seriously. They feel like, no, what else can come out of this person? It brings down your confidence levels. Even
Yeah.
if you know the thing, you would always say, no, I think whatever I do here, they don't take it like it's an important thing that can be done. I
Input.
had an example like today. I was chatting with a friend. She was talking about someone, a colleague, to say, because of the way she's being treated at her workplace, she feels like she's no longer important, or whatever she does is not taken like it's an important thing that can be counted as an asset. She's not taken as an asset at the office. Yet, that person I was talking to, she says, I go to this very same friend to ask her on some things to do with work. She tells me what to do. I do that project, submit to my bosses. They say, oh no, this is very brilliant. Yet that thing is coming from the person they say is not important. Yeah. So because this person is in a position to say, I'm not important, whatever I contribute, they don't take it for granted. They take like it's not important.
Yeah.
She doesn't show up herself like, I can do this. So basically I take it as the environment itself makes a person like
To feel.
build more low self-esteem. Even apart from the work environment, maybe the place where you're born or even the surrounding, you see
Someone next
someone,
to you.
people
Yeah.
look down upon you, maybe your family, they look like, okay, they're not well to do, your colleagues are well to do. Whatever you do, they go like, no, what can come out of this family? You
Yeah.
know, even if you have brilliant ideas, you can't bring them out. You say, no, they can't take me as an important person. They can't take anything from my side. So who am I? I mean, I can't contribute anything important.
Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, Mary. Welcome, Purity. Yeah, Mary, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm
Yeah,
here.
carry on.
So,
Yeah, it's just somebody entering into the box here.
okay, I see. So, yeah. So basically, to my point I'm emphasizing is no one is born with low self-esteem, but the environment that the person is in uh, brings in that.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for saying that. It's really the bulk of it. It's just like thank you so much for that contribution. Let me look for my sound now. The environment really matters a lot because if you're surrounded with people who don't even have high self-esteem of themselves, is what you grow in, is what you're used to that you take on for yourself, not particularly when you don't know better for yourself. Like the example you cited, about the workplace. And I think I mentioned earlier as well, sometimes some people are dealing with these and they're in self-denial. So they project it onto the next co-worker. Do you understand? And it's no fault of theirs really, except somebody brings to their notice that, don't you think you have a bit of low self-esteem because all this behavior, and they're not dealing with it, but they're trying to project that to somebody else by saying to the person maybe they're not adequate enough or whatever it is I've done, is that the best they can do and all of that. Such deeply, that person probably is dealing with low self-esteem themselves. So you have to be mindful. Even if you're in that environment, you can't do anything about it to change that environment at that time, but you can change your mindset. You can change your attitude. You can say to
Yeah,
yourself,
for
you know
sure.
what? Exactly. What? I know what is going on here, but I know me. I know I'm adequate. I know I can do good. I know, just those positive things to yourself. Otherwise, you might not just hear it from a second party. And what does that leave you? So thank you so much, Mary, for that contribution. If you have a thing to share, we'd like to hear from you. Low self-esteem. I shared a bit of mine before. I was almost like a perfectionist, so to say. It has to be right. You have to get it right, otherwise, And when it doesn't go that way, oh my God, I beat myself a lot. Like, hey, for me, is this the best you can do? Is this the best you have to? And constantly doing that, over judging myself, self judging myself. And then with time, I remembered years back I had to go for therapy sessions myself. I just felt I don't need therapy, but it was requirements whilst in training. And my therapist made me realize this. I said, oh my God, it was there I discovered that when people give me positive feedbacks, I don't hear it. Honestly, I don't hear it. All I hear is, okay, okay, just move on to the bad thing I really want to hear. And over
Mhm.
time, I didn't realize. So when that came through for me, and I'm like, oh my God. So I had to trace back relationships. I had to trace back. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. Because some people felt maybe this person is a snob, especially when they say something positive. I just don't hear it. I'm waiting for criticisms. And she helped me, my counselor helped me to go back, way back whilst growing up. And I'm like, oh my God, the environment I grew up, always being told,
Mhm.
even if I do that thing, and some people are saying, oh, well done, well done. But where it matters most, I get scolded, I get criticized, So I have to be at the best. It has to be perfect all the time. So when people are saying, for me, that was awesome, I don't hear that.
Yes.
she helped me realize, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. So that's why some people looked at me certain ways, even though I know I wasn't like that. So it had to be brought to my attention because I never realized that. And I know a lot of people hearing me, maybe on the FYP page hearing me, sometimes you might not know that you're dealing with such a situation. It would take deliberate, self-reflection to actually see this and then do something about it. It was a huge blow. Trust me, I didn't recover until days because memories were just coming like, oh my God, I never knew this was a challenge in my life at the time. I thought all was good, everything okay until I had counseling, and it really, really helped me. And look at me today talking about it like I'm one pro. No, it still comes often, but I quickly, reflect on it and, oh, thank you, Mrs. Williams. Thanks for joining. Reflect on it and do the positive, necessary things because you don't want to dwell there. Everybody telling you're good at this, oh, well done, and you can't hear it. That is a problem, really, and it
Yeah,
will
it
not help
is.
you do better, Yeah. So, thank you so much for sharing your experience. Mrs. Williams, are you in the building? Let me see who else is there. We want to hear from everyone, really. Let's share this because some people, like I said, they don't even know they're faced with this until probably they're hearing now on Insight and they're wondering, oh my God, I didn't realize I had this. So it's always good to tackle things because if you leave it over time, it might just be too much. And then if you're not careful in dealing with it, can lead to depression sometimes because you just feel the whole world is against you. Mrs.
Yeah,
Williams, you're
depression can come
welcome.
indeed.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you so much. Mrs. Williams, you're welcome as usual. I always appreciate when you fly in and kind of fly out. You're welcome. How are you
Hello,
today?
ma'am. I'm fine, thank you. Thanks so much for
Always
yesterday.
good to
I
have
will
you.
just be quiet in the box.
Oh,
You
okay.
understand?
So the thing is, I am done with my talk, and I'm bringing people up to the box to talk about a topic. So today's topic is dealing with low self-esteem. So we've looked at the causes of it, and we've looked at how we can overcome it. However, I was asking, do you think people are born with low self-esteem? And if you have experienced it, or you know of someone who's experienced it, how did they overcome it? Or what can you tell us? How can we overcome low self-esteem? So you can still think about it, or if you have anything to say, why not? Let me see who.
Thank you very much for bringing me up. Thank you so very much, and what a great topic. Good evening, everyone. Um, just the question is, did I think people were born with low esteem? No.
Okay.
No, the Bible says that all He created is, they're wonderfully and beautifully made, and there is not there no one is, and that's why I love this. Even though some people don't believe in it, but I love treating people, and I love this equality act. I love equality act, which
Okay.
is I believe everyone we are all equal, regardless of our
Skin.
background,
Skin color.
yes, educational background, or wherever we come from, our wherever the country we are from, or where we were born. So we are all wonderfully and beautifully made. And but in terms of low self-esteem, I it's a very bad thing that sometimes some people they don't, even with their degree or masters, sometimes they don't be,
They
they
still
don't
don't
remember
believe
they have it,
in
they don't
themselves.
still believe in themselves.
Mm.
We use a scenario. I remember I met a lady long time ago in the UK. I think maybe when she first comes to this country, maybe she went through maybe immigration stuff and like that. But when I met her, she had everything. So, and then one day she just asked me, "Oh, if I don't mind, she wants to go for an interview." And I'm like, "Okay." Oh, I'm not working on that day. I'll go with you. So I asked her, "But why do you want someone to go with you to your interview?" Oh, so then We got there. No, the first time she asked me for that, it was she wants to go and register with a company. So we got there, they're asking her, because I know much about her, with the few time that I connected with her, they're asking your name. She will say, ask them to ask me. Date of birth, you ask them to ask me. And it got to the stage, a lady was saying, is it not your date of birth? You know? And she was like, yeah. Oh, she now called me by my name that, oh, can you? Then I told the lady, I said, so 1 minute, let's step outside. I said, sorry, are you okay? Is everything okay? She said, oh, I cannot understand. So we managed to escape through that day. So the interview day comes and she said I should come with her. I'm like, okay, I volunteer. So we went. Unfortunately, she didn't get the job. So on my way driving her back, I asked her, is everything okay? That I would love her to, to talk to me.
Yeah.
So then she started telling me about her, how she she went to, private school in Africa, private primary, secondary school, private university. And she got here because of the trauma that she went through, and because of people, when they're talking around her, the way they speak, so even some people forming what they are not, making her to look,
Adequate, yeah.
yes. So, and well, then I now said, do you know one thing? You are so brilliant, but you do not know. And the kind of job she was looking for is the job that I'm like, but with all this, and when she came in after she has got her stuff, she even went to school again here. So I said, you know what? Do you know with all this MVQ, all this college stuff you have, you can apply for so kind of job. She said, I don't want straight trouble. Oh, I don't think they'll give it to me. They will say, unfortunately to me, I can't speak the way they're speaking. I say, how do they speak? How am I speaking? I'm speaking with you and I'm working in so place. So how, so that thing has really, really
Messed her.
messed her up. Then and I'm like, okay, I need to, be close to her and then being of encourage. And she was telling me, so many things. I'm like, oh my God. And she said she remember one day she wants to go to party with her. They invited her to sometimes we human being, when we talk, sometimes we don't know how it affects people around us.
Oh, yes.
So she said she wants to go out with her. She was not invited to the place, but they invited her. And she said, oh, yeah, do you want me to come and join? Do you want me to drive down to your house? I said, do you want to go with your car? No. You can't follow us with your car.
Wow.
So even that is, the people that said that, they didn't know that because of that, she parked her car. She's jumping in the bus.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I can see, I'm like, yeah, I noticed you have car, but you always call me to come and take you to somewhere. And she said, oh, that car, I think is not, So so we started go talking, and I think she needs a confidence to be, to regain her confidence.
Yeah.
And then to the glory of God, we tried, and then it's so worse that one day she was coming from a train station and she saw immigration officers. This person has a paper.
Oh
She
my.
saw them doing their own job, then she ran back inside the station.
Oh my
She said she
goodness.
forgot that she has an indefinite.
Oh my goodness. She's been dealt with. Her esteem is on the floor,
So you know
really.
what I did to her? I said, you need a therapy.
Oh my
You have
goodness.
to pay. Before I could convince her, she said, oh, people that they send for therapy are people that have mental health issue. I'm like, Jesus, where will I start from?
My
So
goodness.
now, this thing sometimes starts from childhood. Sometimes some people, when they want to talk at home, they'll say, can you shut up your mouth? Is that what we're talking about? Can you quiet? Don't talk. When elderly are talking, children are keep quiet. When people are talking, you don't talk. When I talk to you, don't look down. Don't look up.
Yeah.
They're killing those children's moral and stuff like that, and they won't be able to face their own people of age out there. and then they grow up like that to university, and they be scared of their friend and stuff like that. Now they want to look for job, they can't.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, so if someone could park a car because of what people saying
My
that,
goodness.
oh, you can, I said, then I now share my own. I said, do you remember that? If I tell you something, what would I said? Your own car, yeah, your first car is beautiful than my car. And she was like, you with this big stuff. I said, no. I said, I remember my first car. I said, I mentioned it. I said, do you know my first car in this country? So she said, no, it can never be. I said, okay, I'll show you the picture. I said, do
Seeing
you
is
think I get
believing.
to where I am today? No. I said, I said, the mistake you made was that they were not welcoming you. You should have, you don't have to be their friend.
No.
Never stay where you are not welcome, or you were being, you know, I don't know how to put it, but, all those things. But how to overcome it is so simple.
Please share with us, ma'am.
Just if you know it's so, like this young lady, I know that she needs a therapy. There is nothing I can say. So if you know that, yes, it has got to that level that some people, they can't even talk when their mates are talking. That's how bad. So then, if you are not
That's how
welcome
bad.
among people that you call your friends,
Then,
please
if you are
exit
not
the building.
sorry, let's
Exit the
mute.
building.
Thank you so
I
much.
exit the building if you know that. And then when you have some people on your phone contact, they're not there to elevate you, they're not there to motivate you, they're not there to help you. So why are you keeping them in your why are you still keeping them as your part of your
It's,
contact?
it's because they have that low self-esteem. So if they see
Yes,
people even
block
talking to
them, delete them, let them go. Let them go. I want to send message to someone. I was showing another person today. I discovered that I blocked that person since 2020.
wow.
And I can't even remember the reason why I blocked her. Maybe because when I want to send this memories brought stuff. But
Yeah.
when I was now sending the message, I now remember that I said, why would I block this person on my WhatsApp? Because I'm not gonna lie. I have over how many? I'll show you Sunday. About 3,000 people I block on my WhatsApp. Over, I think about maybe 5,000. I don't
Oh.
no. You don't stress me unnecessarily. Because in the next 100 years, I don't think they're still going to be remember us.
No,
So
no.
don't stress my life. I'm not going to stress you. But if you want to be like, so then I was thinking, and I want to say something. I want to know the reason why. So I now discovered that there is no, anytime I post picture, she will call me. Oh, don't you think the makeup is this? Oh, the style.
Oh my
This lady that
goodness.
is doing your hair. Hey, I said, so
That's
I
it.
read our last conversation and I saw that I said, I'm going to block you.
Oh
If
wow.
you cannot watch my picture on it's my status
Yeah,
on my phone, my WhatsApp, I block you.
I'm happy
And
that.
let her know. Then after she make her comment, and I now discovered that is when I block her since 2020.
Wow.
So when I said stuff to her today, she said, in her language, you remember me. I said, no, I block you. I discovered that I block you since 2020. Sister Fumi, you know me with my mouth. I'll say it.
They
She
still
said, oh,
have
why
that
did you do
mindset.
because
Oh no.
anytime she sees my picture, now I have to be thinking before I post that no, it's your picture. You took the picture. You felt to
Exactly.
yourself that you look beautiful and you
Yes.
posted it. Then someone is telling you how your head is meant to look, your neck, and then how you meant to, your mouth is meant. No, 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 no. That is, they're trying to bring you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
And don't think if so person, Mary, sorry for using your name, if I am not friend with Mary, I
No
would
worries.
never
That's
be, no, 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 no. God brought Mary to your life that moment. But please, people, do not allow anyone. If you see that I did so many videos, I mean last year or 2 years, if anybody wants to Chiniko, block them, delete them. It's on my post. I put it there. Do not be unselfish. Yes. And then don't try to force yourself. This onion. If you are a pepper, you can't force yourself to be among onions. You're going to be different.
Be
Why are
yourself.
you, yes, why are you not the way they are? Because you are a special person. See yourself as a special person. Yeah,
Yes.
oh, why is your own is always like that? Because I am different
Yes.
and I'm doing my own things in a different way.
Yes. Yes, indeed. You're
So
wonderful. Definitely.
never allow. I remember they thought I was joking. People will come me, oh, we want to do something. Oh, the cloth is £40, 80%. I don't do ashwebi. They thought I was joking. Do you know now? Even when people want to put people name, they will tell you, oh, Mrs. William don't do ashwebi. And when I was doing it that time, 10 years, 15 years ago, it got to a stage where I told people, my children are my ashwebi.
Yes. Yes. Say, tell them.
Yeah, how will I was thinking, okay, this week you brought it the ashwebi, we will buy £80. I have to go and look for tailor to sew it, £250. Then I have to come to your party and spend $100. How much am I earning in a month? Why am I forcing myself to be part of you? I can't afford it that time. And I told them I'm not doing. But if you invite me to your party, I'll ask you, can we wear our own clothes? I don't know if this lady is online, but she's in our church. You can testify. I'll call you out on Sunday. We went for a birthday party. I asked the lady, can we wear what we have? And she said yes. Then we got there. We're about to take picture. They said people that did not bow Ashabi should go to one side. I said, no, I'm taking this picture. I was bored to say that in that party. And then this lady, we went together from the church and she wants to go. I said, sisters also, come here. We're taking picture. I said, excuse me, ma, even though you buy Ashwebi, the owner of the party, we ask her before coming.
Exactly.
And I'm not a party, she knows me. In a year, maybe I go to party once in a year. I don't go. So she was the one begging me to come. And I said, you know, I don't do it. She said, I know you don't do Ashwebi. And I've told people that are not buying to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now, why will I be ashamed because all of them are wearing the same thing and I'm different? I'm a different person.
Of course.
And I will go there with my lovely, gorgeous dress. Because I can still I can wear my clothes in the next 2 years or 3 Sundays, 4 Sundays. But once they wear their own, if they wear it again, they'll say,
rarely wear it again.
remember this Ankara is for Yashukura, is for Yakemi. Excuse me, I'm not buying. And that lady wants to go back to her seat. I said, sis, we are taking picture. Then immediately I thought the owner of the party lady had, and she said, Mrs. William, please don't go. Oh yeah, yes. I said, if you don't want me to go and sit down, I said, me, I'm not even sitting down because I'm going to take part in this picture.
Yeah.
And we took the picture and we went back to our seat. And that sister in my church, on Sunday, I will call her so that, we'll talk about it. And she said, yes, ma. I said, excuse me. There was an agreement. I'm not buying. Can I come? And she said we should come. And we're here. I'm not going to face any embarrassment. Never allow people to put you down. Yeah. Don't say, oh, we did not buy. Let's go and sit down. And then you'll not be able to eat your jollof rice in peace. No, I ate. I gave you money. And I left. It's true. Now, assuming I now go and borrow money. Those are the self. They putting. They're making you to be who you are not. Never allow people. It's a very big party. Come and see people there.
It's amazing.
I don't care. So now, next time, do you know the person later came to me later to apologize. I said, oh, and I'll give her a proverb. I said, there is a saying in my language that you cannot take off my clothes outside and try to put the wrapper back on me in the corner. I said, anyways, you're still forgiving. I said, I did not even count it. I said, how much did she say, hey, Yvonne, do you know that the way you talked that day, me, with the clothes and everything, I spent almost 300 and something pounds. I said, that's your problem.
So we need to be.
My gown, I bought it online for how much? And I won it. So what am I saying? You will not allow, if you don't belong there, there's some people that need what you have. Don't force it.
Definitely.
Create your own stage.
Yeah. Thank you.
Create your own stage. Now she bought the clothes. She wants to try to come and complain to me. I'm not interested, darling.
No.
Oh, they didn't what they shared that day. That I'm not interested. I left her where she was talking because I'm not interested. Because she's asking of the other lady
Let's
from
stop on our screen. Let's take the light.
your own stage,
Yes.
then be prayerful. With prayer, you can overcome it. Then be bold. See yourself as the best things that can ever happen to anyone around you.
That's true. That's
Yes.
true.
If you go to people's stage and create your own stage. Create your own stage.
That's true.
Create your own, do your own thing. People that want you, that love you for who you are, they
Yeah.
will come
You.
to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they will start, what they are not seeing where you were, they will come and see it in you
Thank you so much.
because you are different.
Yes, indeed.
You are. And I hope I don't know if I'm
My
making sense,
goodness.
but
In
if
fact,
I am, thank you so very much for that's my little contribution. God bless you.
you're taking us to the east, to the west, to the north and south of this matter. Because we're talking. Thank you so much. In fact, I really appreciate that contribution, and you've really talked about so many aspects to this dealing with low self-esteem. And like I said earlier, I gave the courses, some of the courses, and how we can overcome. And that one, you really talked about the traumatic experience. And sometimes you find out that it's our own people that kind of talk us down or not giving us that right support. Imagine she had been intimidated, she probably wouldn't even go to that party, and the birthday person or the celebrants will be feeling after all the talk and all, she didn't come, not knowing that there's some set of people who are, I don't want to use the word now, who are enforcing their own ideology onto her. Be your own person, because otherwise, I don't know what will come out of it. Thank you so much, Mrs. Williams, for that contribution. I think the next person, I want to believe at least we all have the perspective of the topic for today. If you're just joining, this is Inside with FunmiRoyal, and today we're looking at the topic dealing with low self-esteem. And I gave a short talk earlier on, and I'm asking people, do you think people are born with low self-esteem? Or if you have dealt with this in your life, how did you overcome low self-esteem? Or what can we do? Please, like I say, I don't know it all, and that's why we're here to learn from one another. So thank you, Mary, for your contribution. Thank you, Mrs. Williams. I'm going to call in Agabetu, if you're there, please. What's your take on this topic, dealing with low self-esteem? Are people born with low self-esteem, or is it learned? Or maybe you have one or two experiences you want to share with us. So let's hear you, Agabetu. Thanks for joining. Let's tap on our screens, people. Let's take it to 20K likes today, please. We can. So, Agabetu, I hope you're there. Can you unmute? Let's hear your views about this. Otherwise, maybe I'll call on the next person. Okay, maybe he's still thinking about it. T Clove, I hope it's T Clove. That's all I can see on my screen. Thank you so much for joining. How are you today? T Clove, are you there? Okay, I really want to hear our opinion about this. If you're not saying anything, I'm gonna have to use a box to bring in somebody else. We're talking about dealing with low self-esteem. Some people have felt low self-esteem in their offices, in the place of work, or their business, even in school, whilst growing up. Somewhere along the line, they felt this, and some have not dealt with it. Some people have dealt with it. Some have identified it, but they don't know how to help themselves, And I'll just mention one or two whilst I wait. T Clove, are you there? Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Williams. Thank you so much. T Clove, let's hear from you tonight. How are you today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you for joining us today on Insight. So, what's your take about this topic? We want to hear from you.
I've just joined, so I think you just have to give me a little more time.
Okay.
Then you should get back to me.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Pastor Progress. Oh, Pastor Progress, you're welcome. I want to believe that's your name because I can only see that much as well. Hello, how are you? Thanks for putting your camera on. It makes me feel okay. I'm talking to real human here. No, I'm just kidding. So if you want to unmute and let us hear you tonight, thanks for joining.
Yeah, I just hop into my car and I have to drive. I was just
Oh,
listening.
okay. Um,
Yeah.
okay. So you don't have any one thing to say before you hop into the car?
One thing is that I don't think you are born with it. It's about the people. Yeah, maybe your experience with your parents or with your friends.
Okay. Okay.
Oftentimes, when you are not confident of who you are, that's what brings low self-esteem. And that is why, as parents, is very important that we make it a point of duty to bring up our kids, impart into them,
Yes.
so that they can grow with you. The Bible says, when you train a child in the way of the Lord, he will not depart from it. And
Yes.
this is a very interesting topic. I wish I had time.
Oh,
But
thank you so much.
yeah,
At
I
least.
find it very interesting because it's actually doing a lot of things to the society today. Maybe some other time I'll be able to throw more light.
All right.
Scripture.
Thank you so much. So before we go, let's just see a token. Thanks for your contribution. And I hope to see you again another time. Thank you so much. Like I said, we're talking about dealing with low self-esteem. If you're just joining in, you're welcome. T Clove, I'll still give you some time. If you're ready, you can just unmute and speak. Otherwise, I want to tell us about our puzzle for today. Our puzzle for today, I want to see who's going to get the answer to the puzzle. And like I say, if you get the answer correctly, I'll give you a donut and 2 ice cream just to relax for the evening, okay? So the puzzle tonight is, what has keys but can't open locks? Mary, help me type it on there. What has keys, as in keys, but can't open locks? If you know the answer, please type it in there. And Mary, let's be on the lookout for the first person to get this correctly. What has keys but can't open locks? It's a puzzle. If you can solve it, you can type it in there and we will get you your donut and 2 ice creams tonight. So thank you so much everyone for joining. Let's tap the screen for a second. Let's just tap and take it to 10K likes. Please, 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 please do this for your sister. And thank you so much for joining in. I really appreciate you. And
There's
also,
an answer already there. Someone is saying keyboard, the other one is saying piano.
it's the piano. Thank you. But Mary, can you see who first typed the answer? That's the person we're looking for.
It's Toby.
Is it Toby? Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, it's Toby. So I need to find Toby. If he's gonna come up. And if Toby can come up so you can get your ice cream and the donut. Let's see. Thank you so much, Toby. Thank you. Toby, you're welcome. Thanks for getting that. It's quite easy, this one today. I remember some we had to go next week and the week after to get the answer. Thank you so much, Toby, for joining. I don't know if you have a contribution to our topic for today, dealing with low self-esteem. If you have anything you want to share with us, we're here to learn from one another. Thank you. Yes, we can hear from you, Toby. Okay, maybe still thinking about it. I don't know if Pastor Progress is it? Okay, let me see. T Clover, I'm just going to invite you back. If not, I will need to use the box for somebody else. I don't know if okay, let me invite 2 or 3 more people. Let's hear what they have to say dealing with low self-esteem. Quite a number have said they don't think people are born with low self-esteem. They feel it's the environment people grew up in, the environment, maybe the culture or the society that has helped brought down their low self-esteem. And we talked about ways we can overcome this. Some ways I don't have all the answers, like I said. And Mrs. Williams was here and she did justice to that. You know, she really dealt into so many aspects of our lives that we experienced low self-esteem and how she was able to deal with it, or how she was able to counsel someone dealing with that. So, Toby, I don't know if you have something to say. Otherwise, I'll go to T. Clove. If you have something to share about this topic we're talking about today, dealing with low self-esteem. Do you think people are born with it? Or you have an experience you want to share with us, or how we can overcome low self-esteem? So T. Clover, if you're there, please, let's hear you. Okay. You have to unmute for us to hear you. Thank you.
Okay. To my own thinking, I think people are not born with low self-esteem.
Okay.
It's just maybe because people who are people who are surrounding you, or maybe your friends, your families, or other people who are surrounding you,
Yeah.
that gives you the low self-esteem. Okay, let me give you this example.
Please. Thank
Like,
you.
do you know how boarding schools are, right?
Yes.
And a lot of parents now are sending their children to boarding schools. Others, they say they have to learn manners and stuff. Yeah. So there you meet a lot of people with different behaviors
Oh, yes.
and different backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's say you meet a person who is underestimating you in everything.
Yeah.
Maybe just because one time you got maybe a 2 in maths, or maybe in any other subject, they are going to mock you that in the way that you're going to be, I don't know, but you're going to be not feeling yourself. You're going to be feeling low on yourself, not trusting yourself that you can do it.
Yes,
So
yes.
I think it's not that you are born with it, but people who are surrounded by you, about who you are surrounded with, they're the ones who bring you low self-esteem. But to me, I just, to deal with low self-esteem, what I do most of the times is I read books or listen to music. Most of the times I do that to get those off in my mind, not to think about them anymore. So yeah, that's how I deal with it. I don't
Okay.
know, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Again, you know, it's like everybody's tending towards the same mindset, as in where you grew up in or the environment you find yourself. So this is a very crucial thing we're talking about. And especially people on the FYP, if you're listening, would like to hear from you. If you can come on down here, let's share your thoughts about this. So that means we need to be mindful, because sometimes that environment, you may not have the capacity to change it. Say, for example, a teenage child living with a parent. I mean, that's where your house is. You have to stay there. But because of the kind of support or the support you're not getting, this is affecting you in terms of your esteem. This child cannot just up and leave the house. They have to stay in there. However, this person, if you find yourself in a situation where you cannot really change that environment, there's still something you can do. Positive affirmations to yourself. I remember talking about setting realistic goals for yourself. Things that will bring your esteem low, don't engage in it, because the environment is giving you more than enough that it can share. Focus on your strength, really. It could be very challenging finding yourself in that life and trying to still have a boosted high esteem. It could be quite challenging, but things can still be done instead of neglecting it altogether. So self appraisal, self care, self positivity would really go a long way. You know, you have to motivate yourself. Just like they say, David had to encourage himself. So sometimes you might have to do this for yourself just because of the environment you are in, which you cannot change necessarily at that time. So we really appreciate that. Who else is online? Thank you all for your contribution. I don't know if Toby wants to share something with us. Otherwise, let me see who else I can bring up. Josephine, I don't know if you're aware you can't talk, but I'll try one more time. So let's be mindful of
Hello.
the things. Hello, Toby, how are you?
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you, Toby?
I'm very,
You're welcome to
oh.
Insight.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
So,
Yeah. Thank
yes,
you.
we can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So,
Yeah.
my, my take about this is from personal experience. Because I've been in that shoe before, where I feel very low, and I can say environment actually determines one's personal self-esteem. And at a point, I had to like change my environment. That's the first thing. Then change the people I have around, because back then, like, not like the people I have around are bad people, but like they make me feel less of myself. So I just like change the people I have around me, give myself some distance from those particular sets of people that make me feel less of myself, and
Done.
start working with people that make me feel like, okay, well, even if whatever I'm doing is not 100%, they will just encourage me and just make me feel like, okay, this thing is making sense, even if it wasn't making sense back then. But I felt
The
positive,
support.
and
Yeah.
it's made me approach life more better, and it made me stay more positive. Then and everything affect everything is more mentally.
Yes.
Sometimes low self-esteem comes with the brain. The brain interprets a lot of things and makes one feel like, okay, maybe I can't do this thing, or maybe it's because of the way I was born, or maybe this is who I am. So once someone can deal with the mental states of
Thing.
oneself, I think it would help one. Yeah, it would actually help one to become better.
Yeah.
And knowing one's weakness,
Yeah.
okay, knowing that, okay, this particular thing needs a change. Okay, this particular person I'm working with is not making me feel, much of myself. So knowing one's weakness also like helps someone to determine one's esteem and make someone better.
Thank
So
you
that's
so
my
much.
that's my little take on it. Yeah, you're welcome.
You know what? It's like you. I don't know if you were here when I said one of the things I said whilst I was doing the talk. I was like focus more on your strengths, but I picked one from you now. Focus on your weakness, but not negatively, so that you don't get low self-esteem either. So both ways as well works. Whether you focus on your positives to help you boost your esteem, or you identify your weakness and do better, positively. So either way it works. So thank you so much to Unstoppable woman of God. Thank you. I hope you have time for us today. We still have a bit of time to hear from us. It's good that we're learning from one another. And like I say, I don't have all the answers. It's just to kind of prompt us so that we can hear from one another. I've shared my own experience as well, and how I had to overcome. And sometimes I find myself there again, and I know to, not dwell so much in there, because it's not a healthy place to be mentally. So, the most thanks for joining us today. How are you? I would like to hear from you. Are you there, the most?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, sis. And
Oh,
you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank God, we're still here.
Thank God. I
What's
don't really know what you are discussing about. I just joined the live,
Okay,
and
I'll
this is my
tell
first
you.
time
I'll,
here.
I'll tell you. Oh, your first time. Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal. We have topics every week we discuss. It's just to help people deal with some of life's challenges, and we all come put heads together, find solutions to these challenges. So today we're talking about dealing with low self-esteem. And Mary, Mrs. Williams, Toby, and some other people they've dropped off has shared their own views and some of them with their experiences, and we've learned so many things from them today. So, how do you reckon? One of the questions I asked is: do you think people are born with low self-esteem, or you have your own experience you want to share and how you are able to overcome low self-esteem? So, thank you.
Yeah, I don't really think people are born with it.
Okay. Okay, majority of people said that as well. So okay,
You
we're
are
all we're
it
all thinking the
with the
same.
same baby.
Oh, not clearly more. Do you want to say something?
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I think the network is fluctuating. I don't know if you find another spot to get a good network, or maybe if you want to drop and come back in again, I will look out for you. Or
Hi.
let's hear you now.
Which day do you start school?
Can you hear
Ma?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay,
me?
let me mute other people on here so that we can hear you clearly. Maybe it's interfering. Okay, can you speak now more? Let's hear you.
No, 7:30.
Are you there, Mo?
Except to get Jonathan Wire.
Okay, so I think yeah, the network is a bit poorly. Mo, if you can hear me, you have to speak now.
When did you start school?
I start school April.
April what?
Yeah, the connection is bad. Okay. Thank you so much, Mo. And I really wanted to hear from you, your perspective on this topic, dealing with low self-esteem. Evangelist, I don't know if you're there.
Take 1 week to that.
Evangelist Favor, are you there? Hello,
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everybody.
good evening. How are you today?
I'm cool.
Thank you for joining in. I really appreciate your joining today. So we're talking about dealing with low self-esteem. I don't know if you have a thing or two to share with us. So you have to unmute so we can hear you. I don't know what's happening with the network today. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, it's better now.
All right.
Yeah, it's my network.
Oh, I think so, yeah. So, Evangelist, let's quickly hear from the moles because you were speaking before, and then I'll come back to you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yes, go ahead, Mo.
So as I was saying, yeah, no one was born with low self-esteem, but where we are born into at time determines maybe you have a low self-esteem. The people you worked with,
Mm,
where you live, at times when you live in a place that people don't really appreciate what you do.
mm,
You know, at there are some times that even you yourself they are doing some things, you know that this thing I'm doing, am I really making progress? I don't know. I sometimes I used to feel like that am I really making, or when you put yourself in a place or in some people's life that they appreciate even the little that you do,
yeah.
it builds someone's self-esteem.
Yes,
At
positively.
least by them encouraging
Oh,
you, okay, you can do more, you
hmm.
can do better. Even if yourself, you know that this thing I'm doing
Yes.
is not is not really. I don't want to say not making sense, but
You
they
know,
are there for you even when you are not even. Maybe your network.
Yes, I think yeah, her network is really poor, but more, I don't know. Are you still there? Yeah, her network is really.
Yeah, my network is bad.
Oh.
I don't really know what's going
Okay.
on this
I can
evening.
hear you now though. If you can stay where you are, maybe you're moving about or something. If you stay there, I can hear you
I'm
now.
not. I'm not.
Oh. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay,
showing the
okay.
low bar, so yeah, it's a network. Okay. Yeah.
So if you stay around people that really appreciate, there was a time I have a friend, and I noticed that any little things that I did,
Mm,
she would be like, "What have you done? What have you done?" So after we had some conversation, I now realized that moving with this person cannot help me. Rather, I will keep discouraging myself. At times, I went back into my room crying that, why did I do this? What's really going on? Am I really that bad? Is it that I cannot do these things? But I now realize that even those things that my former friend complains about, when I
yeah.
did it with other people, they appreciate it a lot. They encourage me. Okay, wow, you can do better. Oh, you've done this. So literally, and I want to tell people that our words to people goes a long way. We should be careful of how we talk to people.
People. Yeah.
Even those little words that we don't really count that. Oh, me, I just open my mouth and say this thing. It goes a long way in people's life. That is why you see a lot of depressions all around these days. Sometimes is what people throw out to other people.
Very.
That's what is really, really affecting people. So people should change. Even though if you know that this thing, if they are not, if it is not harm, or is not an abuse, if you know they are doing something, even if that thing is not making sense, try to encourage them.
So
Talk
that
to them. Wow, you've done this, you can do better. So I think by doing that, we can
yeah,
we
that's
can
true.
help each other. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Really, it's the truth. If you allow these people in, honestly, you'll be picking your esteem on the floor. We need to be mindful of the people surrounding us and the things we allow them, put in us. It goes a long way. And for us who are maybe we have the high esteem, let's be careful. If you feel someone is feeling some sort of low self-esteem, don't rub it in. Don't bring them down some more. Rather, encourage them. Highlight their strengths and appreciate their strengths so that you can help them boost their self-esteem. If you cannot help me boost my self-esteem, please don't help me bring it down. Just stay away from me. Maybe I should put it that way.
Exactly.
So much. Thank you so much for that contribution. Evangelist, I'm coming to you now, please. So let's hear what you have to say. Thanks for joining. Are you still there? You have to unmute. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm still there. Just that I'm along the road.
Oh, okay. Can you still
Yeah.
speak?
But can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can, clearly.
All right. These are low self-esteem. It's not something that is you were born with.
Okay.
Why some people naturally they have it. Like there are kids that you will see from their childhood, they are very shy, they are very calm. You see
Like,
them, they they are naive on the natural level. There are people that are like that. Even if you call them to come and make a speech in a public, they cannot. You see them shivering.
yeah.
You see them shivering. You see them shivering. So now that individual already has a low esteem. And most of them, you see them, they're coming out from poor background.
Wow.
When they check their background, there is nobody that is there for them. You
Okay.
know, you see them, it will make them more quiet. It will make them more calm. When they go to the public, they cannot even express themselves because of where they are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are people that they are not born with this low self-esteem. It is due to their experience in life.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
example, the girl child.
Mm.
I know of a friend that was, that was raped.
Wow.
Now, after that incident, after that thing happened,
Mm.
like if she's with her fellow, young girls, like she feels incomplete.
Mm.
Like whatever other people do, she's like, am I qualified to do this?
Yeah.
Am I qualified to do this? She
Mm.
no longer sees herself as the way other people even seeing her.
Mm.
So low esteem is something that is very, very, I call it a weapon. It's something that is very dangerous.
Mm.
It can kill goals. A person
Mm.
having a low esteem, it will kill your goal.
Mm.
Because of what? You yourself, as in you yourself, you will see yourself as incapable of doing what you are naturally capable of doing.
Mm.
You see yourself that you cannot do it, you can't make it. Because
Mm.
of what? You don't even have value for your own self.
Yeah.
You
Self
don't
worth.
value your own self. So
Mm.
how can I do it? So for somebody of that nature, how you can break free, the first thing is try to check on something that makes you happy.
Yeah.
Something that when you do it, you derive happiness. When
Yeah.
you do it, you derive joy. When you
Mm.
do it, you are motivated. Something that gives you motivation.
Mm.
If it's music that gives you motivation,
Yeah.
you play the music and you begin to dance to the rhythm.
Okay.
If it's somebody that while reading or studying,
Mm.
you get motivation, you
Yeah.
go into studying. As you're studying, you're meditating. As you're
Yes.
studying, you're meditating, and you're moving into another realm.
Mm. That's true.
As you're studying and you're meditating, you're moving into another level. You're
Mm.
getting direction how to break free. You're getting directions how to do things
Yeah.
that on your own self you can't do it.
Mm.
And the next thing is the kind of friends you keep around you.
Mm-hmm.
Your friends don't help you to bring you down, they will help you to raise you up.
Yeah. Either
Now,
one.
what are the kind of people that will surround such a people? A
Mm.
person is like people that can be able to bring good vibes.
Mm.
Such a
Positivity.
person of, yes, positive vibes.
Mm.
A person of low esteem has he or she has a low motivation.
Mm.
They are not motivated.
Yeah.
Even something that they love to do, they are not motivated to do it. But when you have friends that are filled of positivity, that has good vibes, that can motivate you,
Yeah.
oh guy, they are, this form is out, this form is out.
Mm.
Well, this competition form is out. Why
Mm.
don't you give it a try? Why don't you give it a try? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
you'll be like, are you sure I can do it? And they'll be telling you, yes, you can. Why
Yeah.
don't you try it? You can. You see them.
Mm-hmm.
Even the way that they are motivating you, you'll be like, wow. Well,
Yes.
let me give it a try. So that's it. The friends you keep matters.
Mm.
The things you study matters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for now, and the way you also appreciate yourself.
Yes. Self
There's,
love.
you love yourself. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
tell people. Even the Bible say, love your neighbor as you love yourself.
Mm.
The love has to radiate from you
First.
before even you can transfer it.
Mm.
Even if nobody tells you, hey lady, you're beautiful. Tell yourself, look to the mirror and tell
Yeah.
yourself, I
Mm.
am beautiful, I am elegant, I
Yes.
can make it, I can reach that goal, I can reach that level.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much for those insights.
So this is all for now. I'm on the road. Thank you
Okay.
all.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your contribution. You can imagine it's a very sensitive topic, and people are facing this topic every single day, dealing with low self esteem. And one of the things we've established here is that nobody is born with low self esteem. People have low self esteem because of the environment they found themselves. Some, they don't have any power over that. They had to probably grow up there, get their training done there, or live there, or something. So we need to be mindful. So, who are the people surrounding you? If you want to look at the external contributors to low self-esteem, is good, but search within yourself. How are you yourself contributing to this low self-esteem? And Evangelist mentioned something earlier. Some people might be shy, they might be and when she was speaking, I just thought of an introvert. Some people might just naturally be an introvert, but they have a high self-esteem. So it varies in so many ways. Some people might be shy, they have high esteem as well. So just so we'll put a balance to that. But majorly, because if I use myself as an example, I used to be extremely shy, and trust me, my self-esteem was very, very low. I didn't have confidence in myself. Even when I do things and I get appraisals, I don't hear it. I just was always waiting for the criticisms all the time, until I also go into therapy and discover this about myself. And I had to trace back my life to see, oh my God, this has been a challenge all along, and I was able to work on it. I'm still working on it, but at least it's not as low as it used to be once upon a time ago. So thank you for that contribution. Unstoppable, how are you today?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for joining, and thanks for your patience, because our speakers really, they know this topic, so they took a while, which we really appreciate. So what do you have to say about the title, dealing with low self-esteem? Do you think people are born with it, or do you have an experience or two you want to share with us? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
It's
welcome.
so nice to see you. The last time I wasn't able to stay, but today I have a little bit of time.
Okay.
So I'm happy to be here. I want to greet everyone that is here,
Yeah.
Um honestly speaking, this is a very powerful topic because in the world today there is so many of our younger generation that is dealing with this thing, and I believe that knowledge is power, right? So if we can give them the knowledge, and if we can use our experiences, to teach them, to help them, then it can actually make a difference. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
So for me, I don't think people are actually born with it, but I believe that, your upbringing has a lot to do with your low self-esteem, because I believe that, the family that you're in, that you grow up in, they can either make you or they can break you. Do you
That's true.
understand? And it's always been said that your parents are your first teacher, right? So before they go outside in the world, whatever they are taught in the home, it's going to build them or it's going to break them. So what are you teaching your children? How do you treat them?
Yeah.
Right? For me, being born in Jamaica, coming to Canada as a teenager, right? When I was in Jamaica, I can tell you that I had low self-esteem even when I come here. Being in the home that I was, it even made it worse. Why? Your family, right? When they speak to you, what they say to you, how they speak to you,
That's
it will destroy you. So a lot of times, and I couldn't hate my mother or hate my father or whoever, but at one point I was very angry at them. I will not lie, because for you to tell a child that probably you're good for not my mom, but my stepmother used to tell me that, right? So my stepmother used to plant this thing in me to say that you are good for nothing, you're not gonna become anything in life, you're unworthy. Those things, it lower your self-esteem, right? And there's things that she would say, like, you're ugly or whatever the case might be. So those kind of things, as a child growing up, when a person tell you these things, it's going to damage your emotion. You understand? So when you go out there in the world being told that in your home, then you go out there in the world, what are you really expecting? Right? When people say those things to you, you're actually going to believe it because that's what you were told, that's what you were taught.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you understand? So for me, your childhood has a lot to do with your low self-esteem, the way it will affect you as a person growing up. And I would really want to advise, parents out there, speak good things about your children, speak good things over them. You understand? Because those things are going to build them rather than breaking them. And it's also going to allow them to feel good about themselves.
Definitely.
Very
One
true.
of the things that, if anyone from here is from the Caribbean, they can actually, maybe in Africa they do it too, I don't know. But I know from my background is this. A lot of times they don't see, the things that you're trying to do, but they emphasize on the things that you're not doing well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
And
not balanced.
that will also affect a person's self-esteem as well.
Definitely.
Because if every time you're saying, oh, why can't you do better, instead of trying to encourage that person, instead of saying, I know you're doing your best, how can I help you to do better?
Indeed.
Right? So the way in which you approach it, the way in which you communicate with them, it's going to impact them in a mental way and in an emotional way.
Definitely. Definitely.
Because if I know that if I don't do well, you're always gonna yell at me, you're always going to, say something negative to me, then most likely, whenever something doesn't go a certain way, I'm not gonna want to talk to you about it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So for us as parents or even family, be careful of how you communicate with people in your life. And I'm not just talking about children, I'm talking about your friends, I'm talking about your family, even in relationship as well.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
Because I was in a relationship where the person, would just always say nasty things to me. You understand? And it made me question my self-worth and who I was as a person. Right? Because I'm saying that if you love me and then you're talking to me like this, then, how does other people see me? Do you understand? But one of the key things that I want people to understand is this: you have the power.
Yes.
I want people to understand that you have the power, and a person can only affect you, or their words, their action can only affect you if you allow it to do so. And that's what I want. That's the takeaway I want people to understand today. You have the power. We have the power. I have the power. That's the takeaway I want somebody to have. Everyone that is gifting, thank you guys so much. God bless you guys. Because it is so important that you know who you are as a person. Honestly speaking, it took me a long time to get to where I'm at right now. I remember because of my stepmom used to talk to me, even my mom sometimes, not as harsh as my stepmom, but I feel like because they don't know better, they can't do better. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's a cycle,
They've been
right?
through it. They've been
Yes.
through it. Yeah.
They've been through it. they were not corrected, so they continue it. And for me as a parent, because of what I recognized that was happening, I don't do that to my children. I make the change within I'm gonna break that cycle. So I don't speak down to my kids. I don't try to speak negative to them. If I see that they're not doing something well, I ask them, is there anything that is distracting you from being able to perform better? How can I assist you? You have to know how to talk to them. You have to know how to approach them. It is so important. And not only that, but you even social media again, being on here.
I said this earlier, yes.
Low
Oh,
self-esteem is caused a lot of times because we choose to compare our life, compare ourselves to other people.
yes.
One thing I always say to people is this: you are born unique.
Unique indeed.
You are born as an original. And because you are original, you don't need to be a photocopy. You don't need to copy anybody.
No. Be yourself.
So you can be inspired by people, but you're not trying to be that person.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's a big difference. I can look at you and say, wow, I admire her as a person, but I'm not trying to be you. Because I am me. I am unstoppable.
Yes,
so I'm not trying to be anybody else. And when you acknowledge who you are, and when you own who you are, and when you identify who you are, then you don't need to be comparing yourself to anyone else, because you are not, listen, you can't be compared because you are unique. You understand? So all of these things makes a difference in your life.
Yes, indeed.
The way you think about yourself. It's so funny that today I said I'm going to do this topic on my live. I was talking about self-love.
Oh, okay.
Which comes back, it actually ties into self-esteem as well, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because when you don't love yourself to the full extent, you have low self-esteem.
Thank you so
You
much.
understand? Because it ties in. Because if I truly love myself, then what people say about me, it would not affect me.
Oh, yeah.
And if I truly love myself the way I'm supposed to love myself, what people choose to say or what they do, it would not affect me in a negative way. For me, I'm a person, I have programmed myself, because I used to be a very negative person.
Tell me about it.
Because of my experiences. I used to be a very angry person. I used to be a very negative person. I didn't have self-esteem. I didn't have self-confidence. So a lot of people see me right now and they're like, when I tell them certain things, they're like, no, that's not possible. The way they see me always talking. There was a time I didn't have no voice.
Wow.
I could not speak. I was afraid to talk.
Unstoppable. You know what? Because I'm going to be rounding up in 3 minutes. I if I had known, I think I should have opened the floor way earlier, because really it's helpful, all this nuggets you're giving us, and it sounds real, and I know a lot of people can relate with it. So I'll just give you a minute more to kind of round off, so that I have enough time to round off the program as well. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your contribution. Thank you.
Okay, that's okay. I understand. Right? I'm a talker now, so I will go for the whole day. So it's good that you say that. But my final thing to anyone that is listening is this, just believe in who you are, know who you are, and be who you want to be. You understand? Because there's going to be a lot of negative things that's going to be said. You understand? And you do not have to allow your past experience to determine who you are today. You are better than whatever people have said. You are better than what you have passed through. So You are not your past. Let me just leave it as that. You are not your past, but
Amen.
you are who you choose to be today.
Indeed.
I believe that's very powerful. You are not your past, but you are who you choose to be today, and you
Amen.
have to identify who you are as a person. For me, I know that I am unstoppable, so no matter what comes my way, no matter what people say, no matter what people do, I'm gonna be me, and I'm gonna keep on going, and
Yes.
that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. But for time, because we have to keep to our time. Thank you so much, Unstoppable, for that. It's really inspiring. And I know everyone listening in has learned many, many things, not just one or two, so many. I really appreciate that. Maybe I'll see you on Thursday if you have the time as well. It's always good when you hear from other people and you can see that it's not just you going through this. And likewise, there are solutions to it. Be mindful of your environment. If it's an environment you can do without, do self-care, self-affirmation, and please be mindful of what you take on board from the social media. Don't take all the, they're not perfect, the people you see out there, they just bring this perfectionist videos or lifestyle or what have you. Be yourself. Be yourself. Thank you all so much for the likes, for the shares. Thank you so much for the gift. I really appreciate you. This is where I draw the curtain tonight. Thank you all for everyone that has contributed tonight. Mary, thank you so much, my wonderful moderator. Thank you, Mrs. Williams. I can't believe you stayed till the end because I know you're quite busy. I really appreciate you. Evangelist, thank you so much. Unstoppable, thank you so much. Till I come your way again on Thursday, 7 p.m. UK time, where we'll be discussing topics on marriages and relationships. I remains yours truly, FunmiRoyal, and I'll see you on Thursday, 7 p.m. Have a
Share it,
wonderful
share
night.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.